Right, we're going to put this inner primary case back together. Now, I'm going to be putting bearing in here, but if you've watched these videos, I've explained I'm going to be putting this all balls. It's like an upgrade kit. It does away with the inner race on your main shaft on your gearbox, and it's like a push fit bearing, but it's also wider. So the kit comes with a new oil seal, obviously the new wider bearing, and a new circlip. Now I say circlip because on this kit there's only one circlip. If you notice down in there, you've got two circlip grooves, and that your original setup would have two circlips in it. But on this kit you put your top circlip in this side on your like pulley side, then your oil seal goes in that side and your bearing pushes in from the other side, but it's wider and it basically goes to the end of the opening. You wouldn't be able to get your secondary circlip in, and it's the clutch that sort of holds it in place, retains it on the inside. So we'll start by putting the circlip in. Now the circlip, it's beveled on one edge and flat on the other, so the flat edge obviously faces your bearing and the beveled edge faces out towards where your oil seal will be. So just get it into its groove, make sure it's seated in properly, and now that's in place, what I'll do is I'll install the bearing first. You can see the bearing's a lot wider than a standard primary bearing, and it's all one piece. It's got the inner race built into it already, whereas the old one is like a roller bearing without an inner race, and the inner race is fitted to the main shaft on your gearbox. This is a lot better setup really. So I'll press this in from the other side, and then I'll turn it over, press the oil seal in place, and then we'll get like the bushes in and get the primary chain tensioner put back in, etc. So I'll knock you off for now. We'll get set up at the press. Right, we've got a support. We'll put the primary on the support. Get your bearing so it's right inside up as usual. Press tool on it. When you can feel when the bearings hit up against that circlip. So you don't want to be putting massive amounts of pressure on it because it'll just rip the circlip out. So once you feel the pressure up against the circlip, that's it, pressed home. And just check, as you can see there, it's pressed up against the circlip. So what we'll be doing next is we'll have the same brace on, stand, whatever you want to call it, support. We'll get the oil seal in place and we'll press that in. So I'll just I'll knock you off for a second while I get the oil seal. Right, I've actually changed the support because what was the support is what I'm going to be using to push this oil seal in. So I'll just get your case over it, get your seal in position. Get the tool sat on top. Centre it all up a bit. No, I've lost the handle. Now, it might seem a bit rickety this, but I've got the casing sat on the support here. I'm just holding the other end with my hand, but I'm holding it level. So that's oil seals in. What I might do, in fact what I will do, is I'll just push that in a little bit more. We're only talking probably a millimetre here. Just centralise it up again. Make sure it's sitting flush on its stand. Better. Right, and that's your oil seal in place. So what I'll be doing next is there's an oil seal to go in here, right in the bottom, and then there's a new bush. So I'll get the bits sorted and then we'll come back and we'll fit that in place. So back in a sec. Right. Got the support underneath, got the oil seal. Well, basically the oil seal, I tried, before I switched you back on, I tried different angles with the camera to get in so you could see this, but I can't really set you up. So basically the oil seal drops into the bottom of there and there's like a cutout for it to sit in. So drop your oil seal in. I'll just tighten this ram up. Right, drop your oil seal in, drop a press tool on top of it. Centralise it up a bit. Should have got that somewhere near before I switched it on. Centralise it up and then just press the seal in. Now that's going in dry wog, so let the pressure off. And then we'll just have a look in there and see what the problem is. Seems to have gone in alright. Right, and once it's goes tight, that's your sealing all the way. Let's move this stand, support, sorry. Right, I don't know if you can, see if I can reach around and see. Right, there you can see that the seal's in place in the bottom and it sticks through on that side. So that's your starter jack shaft, whatever you want to call it, sealing. Right, I shall ratchet the bush out. The seal obviously comes in there. In the gasket, primary gasket set. So if you've got a full kit, you'll get all new seals and stuff. The seal for the main bearing through the middle, that came with the all balls kit, because it's a different size, because there isn't an inner race anymore. It's a smaller seal. On like the ID internal diameter of the seal is smaller than a standard one, but everything else that's going on this is all genuine James gaskets and seals and Harley bushes and stuff. So right, I'll knock you off again, I'll get the bush. Right, got the support under, got the new bush. I'll give you the number for this in a minute. Right, just put the bush in place, get your press tool on. Well, this is same as a bearing. Let it go in so far. Just release the pressure a touch. Now when you see the movement that you can see now, that's not that springing because it's been going in sideways, that's because I'm supporting it on one end. so it is a bit wobbly, but when it starts to go in it holds itself straight. Right, once you've got it started again, just push it all the way till your tool hits the top of the case, and that's that bushing. Nice and flush. Right, I'll just stick this to one side for now, and the number for that bush that I've just put in is 33445-94A. So the next thing we're going to be doing is, on the other end of the primary, sure you can see that, this is where your shifter arm goes through for changing your gears, and we're going to push new bushes in. So I'll just knock it off for a sec, get the new bushes and get set up, and then we'll push them in. Right, got the just a support on there for the back side of the primary. Press the tool in, centralise it up a bit. Get it in a couple of presses, release it, and then push it home. The tool's got a bit on the end that sits inside, helps keep it in place. Right, for the other side, I can just use that for the support. I'll just grab the other bush. Right, so grab the other bush, you don't want to be doing that neither. Oh, yeah. Same as the other side, just get it in a couple of mil, release the pressure, and then just start again, and then push her in until it's all the way home. Right, and that's your bushes in for your shifter rod, shifter arm. Right, so I'll knock you off again and we'll get set up in a different spot. Right, we're going to put the primary chain tensioner shoe backing plate back on. So it's all been cleaned up. So just put it in place over the bolt holes. Get your 2 bolts, screws, and you want a bit of Loctite on them, a bit of high strength. You don't want a massive amount on, you want to be able to get them out again at some point. Right, and just start your screw in. Do the same on your other one, bit of Loctite. Now these screws are torqued down to 19 Newton meters. So I've got my torque wrench already set up. And that should leave it free to go up and down. And the next thing we'll do, I've took the old shoe off and it's pretty straightforward. It's just a case of take the little circlip off which sits in that groove there, slide the old shoe off, get your new shoe, slide it on, and then put your circlip back on. Make sure it's in place properly. And once that's done, just sit that over, put it on its lowest, because obviously you want to put all, when you put your primary on, you need to be putting your chain and everything back in. And just nip the screw up. Right, and that's it on the primary. So the next thing is we'll make a start putting the gearbox and everything back in the frame. So also on the front of the primary, these bushes, the number for them, which I've just remembered about, is 42642-00A. Right, I'll knock you off for now and we'll come back when we've got set up, get the bike set up in a different spot. And then, as I say, we'll start putting everything back in the frame. Right.